So what is contributing to the growth in world population? What are the major challenges here, and how can these challenges be tackled? For more on this, we're joined by a distinguished panel of experts, and let me first introduce them to you, beginning with, we have with us Dr. Aparajita Chattopadhyay, who's joining us. She's the professor with IIPS Mumbai. We also have with us Ms. Poonam Mutreja, Executive Director of the Population Foundation of India. And Dr. UV Somayazulu is also joining us. He's Director, Sigma Research, and former President of Indian Association for the Study of Population, that is IASP. Welcome, all of you, to Sunset Television. Let me begin with you, Ms. Mutreja, and let's first start by understanding these numbers a little bit, because they themselves tell a very interesting story, how in the past 200 years, the world population has grown at least sevenfold, and specifically, if you look at last 50 years, this has been a threefold increase, and this doesn't seem to be slowing down.
Well, I'd like to say your numbers are great, and you've taken a lot of historical.
That's a very important and an interesting aspect there as well. And I'd like to bring in Ms. Mutreja also later. But let me first bring in, Dr. Somayazulu here. Dr. Somayazulu, in your views, how do you assess these numbers? On one side, there are absolute figures, and the projected figures as well. And of course, this is also true that the rate of growth is slowing down. The numbers, of course, will increase, but the rate of growth is slowing down. But then there are inherent challenges also with the increasing numbers.
Yeah, I agree with to my co-panelists, Poonamji as well as Professor Aparajita. Yes, the numbers are going up, but the percentage of change, the decline, we have some good news on that front, not only in India, in many countries. But, the problem is that the countries that are going to contribute towards higher growth of the population in the next 2 to 3 decades, if you look at to 2030 and beyond that 2050, you have, countries like Indonesia, countries like Nigeria, Uganda, and these are the countries that would be contributing more towards the growth of the population. And in these countries, they are developing countries. And being developing countries, as Dr. Aparajita also mentioned, the inequality issues are there, food security issue is there, food availability is an issue, and these countries also have very high level or moderate levels of malnutrition among the children and all. So there are other challenges as well. And one more fact we have to look at is that by 2050, we are expecting that, as Aparajita said, we need 2 Earths. By 2050, with the kind of population we will have, the projections indicate that we will be needing 3 Earths. We have 1, we need 2 more Earths by 2050 if the current trend of the population growth continues. Yes, the population growth is declining. Even in India, some of the southern states and all have experienced below replacement fertility. But the bulk of the contribution is coming from the northern states of the country. And similar to this, added to this, you have the Global Footprint Network has brought out a report. They said that, we are using our resources at a faster pace. The pace can be considered as 2 times the pace at which the Earth is producing the renewable resources. It is 1:2. The Earth is providing 1 unit of resources, and we are consuming at the rate of 2 units. So it is 1:2. Already the imbalance has cropped in. So how to control that? How to manage that? How to address this? How to ensure that every individual has food security? It is related to the Sustainable Development Goals. Hunger-free society and poverty-free society. If we are trying to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, just 8 years are left out for this. We started in 2050. We have spent already 7 years, and by another next 8 years, we should be able to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. If we want to achieve these goals, then population dynamics has an important role in this. One has to understand the linkage between population dynamics and the Sustainable Development Goals, and formulate and implement effective strategies to address these, so that we will be there by 2030 at the Sustainable Development Agenda reaching stage. I think this is my viewpoint. And here the point to be noted is that consumption levels.
Yes.
One theory is there, the fertility comes down. the prosperity goes up, and the higher prosperity leads to higher consumption. Then it will again increase the imbalances and inequalities in the society. I think these are some of the concerns we need to pay attention.
Okay, Ms. Mutreja,